Hey radio family, we've got a new way to win. Ace TJ Prime Rewards. Win great stuff like gift cards, Ace and TJ merch, concert tickets, and exclusive money can't buy experiences. Win it all with Ace TJ Prime Rewards. It's so easy. Download the Ace and TJ family app in your app store or at acetj.com/app and start winning with Ace TJ Prime Rewards. New winners every week. Fun and free. Get the app and play Ace TJ Prime Rewards. We always knew you were a winner. Now it's your chance to prove it. Get the app today.
If it's trending, it's here now. This is Now Trending with Riggins on the Ace and TJ Show.
There's one big story dominating the news this past weekend, but J-Lo and Ben are selling their home, their marital home. They just bought it a year ago, and this was like, it was all over. They were scouting for locations, and they finally settled on this, like, it looks like, it looks like it's a massive mansion in LA, but just less than a year later, they're already selling it on the DL.
What's the? How long have they been married? This go around?
2 years.
Is that it?
But are they selling it because they're splitting up, or are they just selling it because it's the right time for a good real estate deal?
It could be that, but the headline I saw was selling home, divorce imminent. So
yeah, the word is, they're done, right?
I think so.
That's sad.
I think so.
I hate that for them.
Yeah.
I hate that for anybody.
Sure. Will Smith having a great weekend. His Bad Boys 4 did pretty well. $56 million, I think, domestically, over 50 globally. So that brings the total to over $100 million. He was kind of in the press. He showed up at a couple screenings. So I don't know. Bad Boys 4, not interesting to me, but a lot of people went to go see it.
People were very excited to see him in the theaters.
Sure.
I saw he posted on TikTok, and people got just tripped out when they saw him in the theater.
Mm-hmm. I would have slapped him. Hey,
he's that press.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely.
I never saw. I don't even remember if I saw the second one, but I think I did.
I saw Bad Boys 2. I never watched the third one.
I didn't see the third.
Which one was the third one, Rob?
The one after the second.
Thank you, Riggins.
The lady was the bad guy in the third one, if I remember.
Okay, yeah.
That's the only thing I remember about number 3.
Yeah, I didn't see that, and I'm not going to see this one. I think sequels have a time limit. If you don't do a part something by so many years, like I gave it an exception on that Maverick, Top Gun Maverick.
It was a long time.
Yeah, but I went along with the group. My group wanted to go see it, but I think sequels have an expiration date.
I don't know. My wife and my son, my older son, not the young one, Friday night, Amanda and Cade went to see whatever it is, The Watchers or Watching or whatever.
The Watchers.
Yeah. The first one came out like a long time ago. I think the first one came out like 10 or 15 years ago.
Oh, no, that's the
sequel?
Strangers you're thinking of.
But also,
right?
The New Strangers is a reboot, so it's not a sequel.
Oh, okay. So it's a reboot. Mm-hmm. Okay, I didn't realize that.
There's The Strangers, The Watchers, and
I don't know,
Bad Boys 4.
Yeah, the Strangers.
It's loaded.
Yeah. I stayed home with the baby watching college baseball. That's all I know.
And then certainly the biggest story over the weekend, Caitlin Clark being left off the Olympic team, the women's basketball Olympic team. A lot of people questioning, is this smart? She's the biggest name probably in sports at the moment. And you leave her off the Olympics team. She finally commented on it yesterday saying she's going to use it as motivation to be on the team in 2028. So good idea, bad idea?
For leaving her off?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, if you're a racist, it's a good idea.
Yeah.
It's just not good for the sport, is what the argument people were saying. Like,
well, and one of the questions is she performing up to that level at this point in time as a rookie in the WNBA? And the answer would be, not really. She's not performing up to the level of somebody of the elite, of the 12 most elite players in the league.
Okay.
It's debatable. So just from a strictly performance standpoint, I can understand why she was left off.
Yeah.
But it's dumb because I would have put her on because the hype that it would bring would be fantastic.
Yeah. So those are just a few things that are now trending.
When it comes to losing weight, sometimes you don't even know where to start. You know that it needs to happen, but you need some help. Well, you start by going to acetj.com/weight loss and ordering Calitrin. Calitrin is scientifically proven to help you lose weight, and it is not a drug. It is not a drug. Repeat that. So here's what you do. You go to acetj.com/Calitrin, order 3 months, and then you'll get 3 months free. 4 months, 4 months free. That's how it works with Calitrin.
Available when you want it, how how you want it. This is the Ace and TJ podcast and radio show.
One of the biggest debates ever in the history of the Ace and TJ show was the conversation about whether or not we consider cheerleading to be a sport. I mean, again, this was years ago, and Ace said that he did not consider cheerleading to be a sport, and then it caused a rift among communities like you wouldn't believe. So we have another one of those types of things facing us today, and it is whether or not hobby horsing is a sport.
Excuse me?
Hobby horsing is where you take a stick horse like a child would ride around on a broomstick horse. And you ride, you have a person who's riding through the obstacles on the hobby horse and having to perform with grace and agility and the likes. Because there was a situation that's kind of gotten out of hand on a viral post about a 16-year-old young lady who was upset with her followers because they were making fun of her and her hobby horsing sport. Now, she's also a national champion at hobby horsing. And there are rules you must follow, and then you have to carry it out in a certain way. And I say this is a sport. It uses physical technique. It uses agility. It uses strength in your legs to be able to jump and maintain your balance and look as if you're riding a horse, a real horse, upright, like at the what do they call the one that comes to Charlotte every year? That type of the equestrian events.
Oh, like dressage or something.
Yeah, that's what it is. Just on a hobby horse, on a stick horse.
Yeah, they're hurdling and running and hurdling. But the answer is no.
So you don't consider that a sport? Ace?
No, because it's weird.
No, it's weird.
Well, I mean,
I don't have a good answer.
It's weird.
how
It's
weird
just
was
not.
it when Dr. James Naismith put a peach basket on the wall and started throwing balls into it?
Not weird at all. People went, well, that makes total sense. I love that.
Of the basket first.
Yeah. This is just weird.
Oh, this was definitely weird.
Would you consider this more like ballroom dancing than a sport, Ace?
I don't know. It really, there's a lot of running and there's a lot of physical activity
Yeah.
involved in this. And they are skilled and they are jumping over some very high hurdles. And I get the argument.
But then people say, well, it's adults on these hobby horses, on these stick horses and stuff. Okay, well, it's also adults who are throwing a ball back and forth to each other and making bajillion dollars a year.
I know. It's. I get the argument. It could be. I do see where it could be perceived as a sport because there is athletic activity. There's running and jumping, and it's pretty. Some of the stuff they're doing is kind of impressive. But no, it's not a sport because it's weird.
Okay.
Wow.
So if it's weird, it's not a sport. Exactly. And do you not think that any of those gymnastics events are weird, like with the ribbon and the whole thing like that?
Oh yeah, a couple of those are weird.
But are they not sports?
Those particular ones are.
No. Okay. All right.
That's just my rules.
We're good.
It's radio. It's a podcast. It's the Ace and TJ podcast and radio show. More next.
We're here with Richard Toccato, the Richard Toccato Companies. And Richard, not just mortgages, not just home sales. Now you're helping people with home improvements.
Yeah, that's right. So if you want a backyard that you've always dreamed of, or you need siding, windows, whatever you need, give us a call. Check it out.
You've got the money in your home. Richard just helps you find it. Finds the best way for you to do it. It's very simple. All you have to do is start by going to homewithrichard.com. It's homewithrichard.com, the Richard Toccato Companies.
Available when you want it, how you want it. This is the Ace and TJ podcast and radio show.
Whoa. Riggins, you grew up with a pool in your backyard, being, rich and elite and effete from Salisbury, North Carolina.
I did have a pool.
Yeah. So when y'all came in from the pool, did your mom make you take a shower right away?
No.
No. you played, and did you count the pool as a shower, as a bath?
Absolutely.
Okay. Now, how old were you before you would come in from the pool and then decide, I think I need to take a shower?
This past Friday. Old.
Really?
Yeah. I wanted to go take a nap. I was like, well, I better shower this because there's a lot of chlorine in the public pool.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Community pool.
But you did have the conscious thought that this counts as a shower or a bath.
Sure.
Being in the pool.
Yeah. You rinsed off.
Okay. Well, that's one of the big controversies going all over the internets now because some mom said that Kitty's in the pool and so glad that she posted. So glad this takes the place of a bath.
Yeah.
Get it all done. And then other people freaked out, including a dermatologist had to weigh in and talk about the chemicals in the water and all that.
A lot of chemicals that gets the germs off. Nothing can survive in a pool.
You can't do it every day, but for the most part, I think you're fine. Especially the chlorine can be bad for your hair, though. You need to wash that out of your hair. But that's the one thing you don't need to do it every day. You're fine.
The dermatologist for children. Oh, great. Yeah, that's what we need to be focused on.
No, it's just some dermatologist, not a pediatric dermatologist.
I counted the pool as my shower yesterday. We were at my in-laws. Like we got out of the pool and then came right home. They have a pool, and I was like, "Oh, I'm clean. I'm good."
Give me a break.
But somebody else commented and said, "No way, man. Pool day means it is definitely a tubby night for my kiddos."
Oh.
So gross. Chemicals, sunscreen, sweat, pee, salt, etc.
Pee?
No, well, I guess if she's thinking if you're in a public pool, it's or maybe they've been, if they've been in the ocean, they've been peeing in the ocean and it gets on you. But I don't know. I know if you got sunscreen on, you should be taking a shower.
Yeah, if you're covered in oil or something like that, of course you take a shower. Didn't you consider it that when you were doing the pool days?
No.
You would always take a shower?
Yeah.
Or you would?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because I'm not trashy.
Oh.
Okay.
Well, that shut me up, bro.
No, but I didn't have a pool until I was an adult, so I know I grew up poor.
It's not your fault.
Yeah, but what about these saltwater pools? They don't have all the chemicals in them.
Yeah, I think we had a saltwater pool.
Must be nice.
Yeah.
Must be nice.
It was excellent. It was excellent.
But I still follow on the line of if you've been in the pool, you don't have to run straight in and do it, but before you go to bed or go somewhere, you need to take a shower.
Well,
I don't think it substitutes for a shower. Let me put it that way, or a bath.
Well, it did for me yesterday.
Yeah, I did it on Friday.
Y'all nasty.
Well, that was my justification. It's a saltwater pool. It's fine.
Y'all nasty.
This is the Ace and TJ Show.
Richard Toccato, the Richard Toccato Companies is here, and Richard is going to help you get out of credit card debt. And when he pulls your information, it will not your credit.
That's right.
Ding, it won't ding
yeah,
your credit.
no dinging, no dinging of the credit. We're going to find out and see what we can do for you, so you don't have to be bombarded by having a negative effect on your credit.
Yeah, it's very simple. It's a lot easier than you think. It all starts by going to homewithrichard.com, and they take care of the rest. It's homewithrichard.com, the Richard Toccato Companies.
The Johnson Group has been cleaning some of Charlotte's most prestigious businesses since 1985. Family owned and operated. Learn more at acetj.com/clean. It's first class cleaning with the Johnson Group.
This is the Ace and TJ podcast and radio show.
Okay. When you're talking about elected officials like a town council or something like that, a city council, don't you think it's about time that they are having their little meetings? Because what is it, once a month they have a meeting, once a week or something like that with the entire city council and the mayor and all that? Don't you think we're past COVID enough to where they ought to be in the room with each other?
I didn't know they weren't now.
Well, I didn't either until I saw this viral video from Rio de Janeiro. The mayor is at his house, and then some of the city council members are at City Hall or whatever they call it in Brazil. So there are about four split screen things with other people who are there for the meeting. And the mayor of Rio is just sitting there, and he's looking at the camera. He's kind of got the camera down a little bit, his computer, like he's looking down at it. And then all of a sudden, the computer slips and pans way down to show that he's sitting on the turlet.
Oh, no.
Shows his pants at his ankles, and then the guy that's running the meeting back in the city council president, their version of that, is trying to maintain his composure.
I haven't seen that.
Why? You're the mayor. Why not say, hey, I'm going to need to back up the meeting time, or I'm going to need to be a few minutes late, whatever.
Can we start in 10 minutes, guys? I got something to take care of here.
But if this whole thing wouldn't have happened to where you knew what he was doing, he was planning on just sitting there through the entire meeting on the toilet.
Wow.
Okay. You know,
I didn't even think about that. What is that? An hour and a half?
Maybe he could turn his camera off when just for a few minutes when time to get out of there. But wouldn't you be able to tell? Even if he had the mic muted, wouldn't you be able to tell what he was doing?
You would think,
if he was staring at nothing but his face.
That angle looking up is like pretty telling. Like, are you in the toilet?
Because he was leaned over with like his hands were on his thighs, his elbows were on his thighs. He's leaned over in that position.
So eventually you can figure out. Wait, he's not at a desk.
Yeah. And then when the camera fell a little bit and he saw what was happening, the look of was trying to
pants around the ankles.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Incredible.
Yep. It's tough to look dignified in that.
Certainly, he was like straining at some point, right? So they would have noticed that.
Yeah, I kind of covered that, Rob, without saying it that way.
Oh, sorry.
Yes.
I didn't get it then. Maybe some people need it
I
spelled
said
out.
you would be able, you could tell, with the close up on his face.
I didn't get it.
That's what he was doing.
I didn't get it from that. Sorry.
Yeah, that's all right. Did y'all get it from me?
I got it.
This is the Ace and TJ Show.
So our friend Richard Toccato, the Richard Toccato Companies, is here, and he has helped us so many times through the years. And when it comes to mortgages, he's going to get you the best deal.
That's right. We are the best deal. And if you're under contract to buy a house, you should check us out. I mean, you're not going to. They never do. but we're the best deal.
But feel free, you should, and because we've used him for years for a variety of different things. Whatever you're needing, go to homewithrichard.com to get the process started, and they can take care of you from there. Homewithrichard.com, the Richard Toccato Companies.
Currents is Lake Norman's #1 lifestyle magazine. Every month, Currents brings you the latest news on what's happening in the Lake Norman area. They've been serving the Lake Norman community for over 13 years. See the latest issue of Currents now at lncurrents.com.
If it's trending, it's here now. This is Now Trending with Riggins on the Ace and TJ Show.
So the NBA Finals Game 2 happened last night. Celtics now lead the series 2-0. So I'm not watching basketball. I don't know anything about basketball, but I like that basketball is trending because that gives us an opportunity to talk about this Caitlin Clark drama. She was left off the women's basketball team, and a lot of people are upset, and a lot of people say, no, this actually makes perfect sense. Historically, there haven't been many rookies on the Olympic team.
Yeah, it's the women's Olympic team. And I don't think the Americans have lost a game in, I don't know how long it's been since we've lost a women's game. But if you look at the stats, she is not among the top 12 players in the league, even in scoring. I think I just looked it up. She's 14th in scoring. Performance-wise, she's not performing as one of the top 12 players in the league right now. From a good for women's basketball standpoint, she should have been on the team because the hype would have been really great.
Yeah.
I don't really agree with that, though, Brother Ace. If she's not performing, she doesn't perform. However, they should have put her on the team just because she's Caitlin Clark.
Okay.
Even though that she may not be performing where she should be performing, because we know that even if she had been performing at a level that they would have picked her, they wouldn't have.
Oh, I think they would have
because
if
she's
been performing
Caitlin
at a
Clark.
level. No, I think they'd have
They're
picked her if
all
she had
out
been
to get
performing.
her. They're all out to get her. That's why I support her. She's the underdog. She's having to fight through all of it.
Yeah.
I don't think she's an underdog.
She's an underdog. Well, you don't know anything about basketball. Hey, get a big straw and stick it in your energy drink and then just attach your lips to it. Please. Ugh.
Somebody said, imagine how many jerseys that would have sold the American jersey with Caitlin Clark's name on. I think that was Dave Portnoy. He made one of the more aggressive arguments for having her on the team.
From a business standpoint, from a hype standpoint, I'm sure NBC would have loved to have her because that would certainly drive people watching. But she is not performing well enough to be considered one of the 12 best players in the world, period.
Which is a very convenient out for the people who wouldn't have put her on there anyway.
Say what you want.
Grudge.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, my God. Thank God we have an excuse not to do it.
Has everybody seen this video of the bull escaping from the rodeo in Oregon?
Yes, that is scary.
It's incredible. So the bull, which my favorite part of the story is that the bull's name is Party Bus. I mean, that's a great name for a bull at a rodeo. Party Bus. But anyway, got out and just tears through this crowd. A woman gets sent flying through the air. I mean, it's not funny. It's dangerous and scary, but gosh, there is something gets my adrenaline going when that bull is just charging through crowds of people. It's crazy. So Party Bus, they were able to corral him back into the rodeo or whatever they call it. So those are just a few things that are now trending.
There's a couple they're going viral because of something that happened the day before their wedding. And everybody's blaming the guy. And let's be clear, he is to blame. However, his fiance, the lady, is just as much to blame, I think. But this is one of the wildest stories you've heard in quite some time. And it happened the day before their wedding. It is the story you'll be talking about the rest of the day. Coming up next.
This is the Ace and TJ Show.
It's been a debate here for years.
Does great furniture look good?
Or does it feel good?
Does it fit the style of the room good?
Or does it sit good?
Well, after years of debate
And years of research.
we've decided great furniture
Is good fitting?
and good sitting.
Love where you live, Lake Norman, and get an Adirondack chair for just $279. In stock and ready to rock only at Sweet Dreams Furniture and Mattress.
Don't just listen to the Ace and TJ Show. Watch it. Now available 24 hours a day on YouTube. Just search for Ace TJ TV. This is the Ace and TJ podcast and radio show.
First, to everybody that sent me a note about my son and the picture of him with the C4 energy drink in the grocery store. Was it yesterday or Saturday? Saturday. It wasn't open.
Did you really get negative comments?
Like, you cannot let him. I was like, it's not open. I think Amanda responded to something like, "It wasn't open. Relax." But that was the only way. It was just one that I saw. There might have been two, but one was like, "Please tell me this is a joke." Yeah, it's a joke. It's
not.
The drink is not open.
He drank the whole thing.
Right.
You should have made you've taken it all the way.
Oh, it was so funny. It just made me laugh. That was enough. It made me laugh.
The only funny thing was the fact that he didn't finish it like he normally does.
It got warm, and now he doesn't want it anymore.
So the picture's up on all of our social media. It made me laugh. So imagine it's the day before your wedding. You got a lot to do the day before your wedding. And this particular couple, Alex and Lydia Kessinger, they're married now. Oh, they had a lot to do the day before their wedding because they were doing some moving. They live in Utah. But on their wedding day, Lydia not exactly in tip-top shape because of a decision they made the day before. They were moving into a new place, wanted to get their mattress there before the wedding night, obviously. So Alex said, let's just throw the mattress in the back of my truck. And he told Lydia, you lie down on the mattress to weigh it down while we drive across town. Alex was doing 50 miles an hour when he hit a bump in the road, and suddenly, you know what happens next, Lydia is not thrown from the truck, she is launched from the truck in traffic. Stop laughing, y'all. This is serious.
Come on.
She hits the road. the day before her wedding, she lays in the road. She was covered in road rash. Her arms and her face got scraped up. She broke her 2 front teeth. But here's the catch. Once she stopped skidding across the pavement, he's watching her in the rearview mirror because then she has to get up and dodge traffic because cars are like, oh my God. They're swerving all over the place. So they say she's lucky to be alive. Despite the injuries, they did go through with the wedding the very next day. It happened in April, but it's just now. This is the best part of the story. The story just came out on Thursday because Thursday was National Secure Your Load Day. It's meant to encourage people to be more careful when transporting stuff. Oh God.
I know they live in Utah, so this is probably not a good thing, not realistic. But I just hope they don't have children.
They don't yet. No.
I'm saying I hope they never have children. Let me put it that way. Yeah. Because obviously they're both dumb.
Yeah.
Both of them.
And everybody
are idiots.
Everything I saw is like the guy's like, it's my fault. Well, it's her fault too. She's an adult too. She should have said, getting back there. Hang on a second. I'm not riding on a mattress. You hit a bump, it's going to throw me up in the air. Can you imagine though the day before the wedding, watching her get thrown out of the back of the truck?
Yes.
Like, oh my God.
Be amazing.
And I'm dying to see the wedding pictures to see if you could see how she was all skinned up because she had to spend the rest of the day at the hospital, the doctor, had to get her teeth replaced.
Those are words I have never uttered. I'm dying to see the wedding pictures.
Live on your radio and anytime you want us, wherever you get podcasts. This is the Ace and TJ podcast and radio show.
Well, here we are, another new year, and you're, again, going to try to lose that weight you've been needing to lose for a long time. Well, here's what you need. You need Calitrin to help. Because Calitrin is not a drug. No, not at all. It is natural and effective. It's scientifically proven to help you lose weight and get better sleep. When you buy 3 months supply of Calitrin, you will get 3 months free right now, and consistency is the key with Calitrin. So order it today at acetj.com/weight loss. It's Calitrin.
Create an unforgettable experience with the Cabarrus Arena. Learn more at cabarrusarena.com. Weddings, banquets, shows, expos, they do it all at the Cabarrus Arena. Learn more at cabarrusarena.com.
Available when you want it, how you want it. This is the Ace and TJ podcast and radio show.
Quick note. If you are a lady and you're headed to a guy's house, or you're just going to hang out with a couple of buddies, a couple of guys live together, their coffee table has a 70% chance of having poop on it or poop particles at all times. There's a guy named Dr. Carl. He's like Bill Nye the Science Guy, but he lives in Australia.
He's a real doctor then, though.
I don't know. They just call him Dr. Carl. I don't know if it's real or not. But anyway, here's the take from this. Think about this. If you buy a new pair of shoes, according to Dr. Carl, and you wear them for 3 months, there is a 93% chance that those shoes have fecal matter on them.
Oh, yeah.
So whether it's from outside or public restroom or somewhere, I don't know, the numbers seem high. 93% chance. And
it could be a LeBear poop from the sidewalk.
Yeah.
Who knows?
But the guy's point is, when two guys live together without a woman living in the house with them, they tend to obviously not be as clean. They also tend to put their feet up on the coffee tables. Therefore, there is a 70% chance that if two guys live together with no woman, they have fecal matter on their coffee table. I mean, you can't overthink things like that, but it's, I just found it to be interesting. Yeah, if you've had a pair of shoes for 3 months, there's a 93% chance it's got fecal matter. Your shoes have fecal matter on them.
Duty.
Yeah. And I saw a member of the radio family named Katie sent us something over the weekend on Twitter. At the Ace TJ Show is our Twitter handle. And it said, this sign on a Pepsi machine at Hershey Park reminded me of at Riggins Radio, Riggins Twitter, and his absolute ire of the share size label on king size candy bars. Have you seen this picture? So if you don't know, a long time ago, Riggins got very upset because Snickers took their huge candy bar and split it in half and started calling it share, so you're supposed to share it.
Yeah.
And he got very angry because don't tell me what to do with my candy bar. Well, this is a big ad for Pepsi. It's a big Pepsi thing. And in the top corner of it, it's got a big logo that says, calories count, check, then choose. So they put a warning label on their Pepsi ad at this amusement park that says, calories count, check, then choose.
Meaning you should look at the size, the calories in each size.
Yeah, how much of this are you going to drink because of the calorie count? You need to look at it and see how many calories are in there before you partake of a Pepsi or a Pepsi product.
Shut up. Shut up. Shut up.
But bothersome to you because you just want to be able to drink your drink and be left alone. It's not just sell me the drink. Don't sell me the drink and lecture me.
You want both things. This is the part of capitalism that I really hate. The sort of cowering to the government, but also still wanting to sell the largest size you can. Pick one. Pick your lane. If you want to go be a little, if you want to do that, do it. But stop. I just find it obnoxious.
Yeah, but they have these government policies that make it so hard for them to do business. So it's more an oppressive, iron-fisted government thing than it is a Pepsi thing. It's just sick all the way around.
Yeah.
Sick.
Yeah.
I'll swim in Pepsi if I want.
Check the calorie count. Ugh.
So
I hate it.
You just want them to sell it to you without
Shut
the
up,
lecture.
yeah. Don't lecture me. Yeah, right. It's the lecture. You're right. It's the lecture.
And there is a pretty wild, yet becoming more and more hot by the day, trend on social media when it comes to snack foods that you probably didn't see coming. Could be a game changer. Coming up next.
This is the Ace and TJ Show.
We're here with Richard Toccato, the Richard Toccato Companies. And Richard, not just mortgages, not just home sales. Now you're helping people with home improvements.
Yeah, that's right. So if you want a backyard that you've always dreamed of, or you need siding, windows, whatever you need, give us a call. Check it out.
You've got the money in your home. Richard just helps you find it. Finds the best way for you to do it. It's very simple. All you have to do is start by going to homewithrichard.com. It's homewithrichard.com, the Richard Toccato Companies.
Available when you want it, how you want it. This is the Ace and TJ podcast and radio show.
Ketchup is a key element in a lot of people's lives. Like, there are people that just crave ketchup. They love ketchup. Ketchup is a part of their daily activity when it comes to food. They need it. They put it on everything, including Kit Kat candy bars. Ugh. That is a little something going viral. There are videos on TikTok of people slathering ketchup on Kit Kats or putting ketchup on a plate and you're running the Kit Kat candy bar, which is that, if you're not familiar, a very delicious little wafer dipped in chocolate. It's spectacular, crunchy. What?
You're explaining what a Kit Kat is? What are you doing? What do you mean?
As a broadcaster, Riggins, I'm trying to make certain that everyone has a clear understanding of what we're discussing.
Kit Kat. Okay, good.
Yeah,
I like it. I dig
understand what a Kit Kat is.
Sure.
If you're confused, you thought, I was thinking about a Snickers bar, not a Kit Kat.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I've cleared up any miscommunication.
In broadcasting, Riggins, you have to assume your audience just landed on Earth.
That's an odd one to pick out to explain.
Cover all the bases. That's why when you watch a baseball game and the play-by-play announcer says something that is just absolutely obvious to anyone who would ever stop on a baseball game.
Yeah.
What's ketchup, though? Huh? What's ketchup?
You know what ketchup is.
Oh, okay. Well, why not explain that?
Okay.
It's a tomato dipping sauce.
So I just say it's a tomato-based sauce.
Sorry.
It goes typically thought of to be on hamburgers or fries.
Originally pronounced catsup.
I can kind of see it if you break the Kit Kat up, they kind of do resemble fries. So I guess it makes more sense than just dipping a Reese's cup into it, but that still sounds disgusting.
They say it's the mix.
That's what they always say.
Get that salty sweet mix that kind of makes it work out so nice.
I don't think so.
That's just goofy.
I would try it once just to see. I mean, it's one of the things. There's no harm in it, so why not try it and see what happens?
Is that in America?
Yeah. Yeah. So Heinz and Kit Kat have also put out a social media post teasing a collaboration called Kit Ketchup. They think they're just messing around. Yeah. They're not really going to do it. But,
they tried.
Yeah. And did y'all see this guy on? There was a guy on Price is Right Friday that made news because he won the. If you get less than, if you do the showcase showdown and you're within $250, you get both. He was $1 off from his Showcase Showdown. He was only off by $1. He ended up winning like $89,000 worth of stuff. Yeah, his Showcase Showdown was $39,501, and his bid was $39,500. Oh my God. Nailed it. Yeah, so he got all kinds of stuff. He's going to trip to Miami, Hawaii, Italy, motorcycle. He got a car. He got a bunch of luxury designer products because he just got it all right. He nailed it.
Dang. I'd have that stuff sold by the time I got home.
You'd sell it all?
Yeah, I'd pick like one play, like maybe, we're going to keep this Italy trip. Everything else goes.
Yeah, because you got to pay taxes on all that stuff.
Yeah, and they say you have to pay the taxes before you leave.
Mm-hmm.
What am I going to do? What am I going to do?
On $89,000, you got to pay the taxes.
Like, hey, it's like $18,000, $20,000 worth of taxes. Well, guys, I just leave it all here. I'm going home. I don't have it.
Yeah, and why do you have to pay it before you leave there?
Because you're leaving the state of California. I guess.
Yeah.
I'm guessing that's why.
Then they can help me move it to the house too. Then.
Riggins and Now Trending coming up next.
This is the Ace and TJ Show.
Richard Toccato, the Richard Toccato Companies is here, and Richard is going to help you get out of credit card debt. And when he pulls your information, it will not your credit.
That's right.
Ding, it won't ding
yeah,
your credit.
no dinging, no dinging of the credit. We're going to find out and see what we can do for you, so you don't have to be bombarded by having a negative effect on your credit.
Yeah, it's very simple. It's a lot easier than you think. It all starts by going to homewithrichard.com, and they take care of the rest. It's homewithrichard.com, the Richard Toccato Companies. Meal delivery services are a big thing right now, but Table and Twine is your local meal delivery service. The meals are fresh, not frozen like national chains. Plus, their meals start at just $7.99 a serving. Take back that time in your day, leave the shopping, preparation, and cooking to Table and Twine. Get details at tableandtwine.com. That's tableandtwine.com.
If it's trending, it's here now. This is Now Trending with Riggins on the Ace and TJ Show.
The Jake Paul-Mike Tyson boxing match has been rescheduled for November 15th. That's going to stream. I think it's on Netflix. So it looks like, originally it was called off because Mike Tyson's health scare, but now it's back on November 15th. Jake Paul, Mike Tyson, the fight of the century. That's what they're calling it.
I can't wait to see it. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, it's going to be a spectacle, no doubt.
Yeah.
It's going to be it's kind of wild to watch.
I bet it'll never happen because when November gets close, then Mike Tyson will get scared again.
You think?
Mm-hmm.
Scaredy cat. Mike Tyson. Today's a delicious day for two reasons. National Iced Tea Day. Love that. It's also National Egg Roll Day. I like that a lot more.
Interesting.
Somebody sent a message about getting egg rolls on your small town adventures this weekend, TJ. They said, did you get the egg roll?
Yes, they were Southern egg rolls. They had collard greens and barbecue brisket, I want to say.
In an egg roll? Hell yeah.
In an egg roll, yeah. And it was one of the best things I've ever eaten.
Really?
Great.
Okay, good.
So great.
They said,
I've never heard that before.
Yeah,
Southern egg roll. That sounds delicious.
It was at the place called Baxter's, 1892.
Okay.
Fancy and fun.
They said, please tell him. I said, I can't. I'm hammered right now, but I'll keep you in my heart.
I am not able to share that information, sir, because I am hammered right now.
Julia Louis-Dreyfus is firing back at her friend Jerry Seinfeld. So everybody knows Jerry Seinfeld was trending last week because he did that sit-down interview where he said cancel culture has gone too far, especially in comedy, and that men need to go back to being men. Julia Louis-Dreyfus, who co-starred with him on Seinfeld, said that's a red flag and that being sensitive is not necessarily a bad thing. And when people say that cancel culture has gone too far, that might mean other things. That's kind of how she said it. I was like, well, what is that supposed to mean?
Yeah, I wondered about that at the time, how she was going to deal with that, because, she's pretty outspoken about her political beliefs and where she falls on all that stuff, and it's far left.
And they're
far left.
They're good friends.
Yeah.
He spoke at her Kennedy Center honors, but I thought that was a weird thing to say. Like, it could mean other things. I was like, oh, what are you saying about your friend Jerry? Kind of wild stuff. But she is trending this morning, and those are just a few things that are now trending. I'm going to tell you about my Friday afternoon because it was really just spectacular. Coming up next.
This is the Ace and TJ Show.
When it comes to losing weight, sometimes you don't even know where to start. You know that it needs to happen, but you need some help. Well, you start by going to acetj.com/weight loss and ordering Calitrin. Calitrin is scientifically proven to help you lose weight, and it is not a drug. It is not a drug. Repeat that. So here's what you do. You go to acetj.com/Calitrin, order 3 months, and then you'll get 3 months free. 4 months, 4 months free. That's how it works with Calitrin. If you want all of the heating, air, and electrical work in your house done by the very best, then you need Bradham Brothers. They've been a family business thriving for over 50 years, and that means they're doing something right. Go to Bradham Brothers.
Live each weekday on your radio, anytime you want, wherever you get podcasts. This is the Ace and TJ podcast and radio show.
So everybody knows I like to stick to a routine. My name is Riggins. I like a routine. I always have. And I got a new routine in the works. On Fridays, when I leave work, I go home, walk the dog, then I go to the pool. Got my new pool pass at the neighborhood pool. And I don't know, people aren't swimming in my neighborhood. So I had to do a little meeting after work on Friday. And the whole time I was in this meeting, I was like, God, I just want to go to the pool so badly. And that's what I did. Got a case of beer, went to the pool, got a little tan, put on some oil, took a shower before I got back in the pool. There's signs everywhere. Shower before you get back in the pool. And it was great. I absolutely loved it.
Did you take the case of beer to the pool?
No.
Okay.
No. I don't drink at the pool.
Okay.
But it's allowed, though, right?
Yeah. No glass.
Yeah.
No glass. But something about drinking by the pool at 10:30 by yourself seems a little... I mean, I would have, but I don't like the optics of that.
Yeah, it seems a little cool.
It seems a little too cool.
Too cool.
Yeah.
In other words, you didn't want other people to see you doing it, but if it had been your own pool, not a problem.
Sure.
Okay, there we go.
Right? Isn't that?
Yeah,
don't you think if you see somebody by themselves drinking, just pulling beers out of the case of beer that's not refrigerated is a little...
That's even worse. Yeah.
Don't you think? Like not in a
picture
cooler.
it that way, but okay.
Just pulling them right out of the cardboard thing. So that was great. And I, hung out there for an hour and a half or so. Went back in, did not take a shower, laid down for a nap, snoozed 2 hours, woke up in the middle of the day, like 2:30 or so.
Oh, wow, that's perfect.
Oh, my God. Air was on 68. When I wake up, the dog is snoozing peacefully. He doesn't need to do anything. And then played video games all afternoon. And at 7:15, I cracked my first beer. I had dinner at 9:30 after a few more beers. And drifted off into La La Land at around 11:30 after watching a movie on Amazon Prime. And then I realized, that's not a Friday. That's just my day, like most days. So I know that might sound thrilling to some, and I can assure you.
Sounds exceptional as a day.
Yeah, I mean,
awesome.
it was fabulous.
Yeah.
So, but I am becoming an older man, and I want to tell you how that reared its ugly head coming up next.
This is the Ace and TJ Show.
Richard Toccato, the Richard Toccato Companies is here, and Richard is going to help you get out of credit card debt. And when he pulls your information, it will not your credit.
That's right.
Ding, it won't ding
yeah,
your credit.
no dinging, no dinging of the credit. We're going to find out and see what we can do for you, so you don't have to be bombarded by having a negative effect on your credit.
Yeah, it's very simple. It's a lot easier than you think. It all starts by going to homewithrichard.com, and they take care of the rest. It's homewithrichard.com, the Richard Toccato Companies.
When it comes to buying or selling a house, there are all kinds of people that can help you do that, but not like the Temple team at Keller Williams Realty. They are so much more than just real estate salespeople. Find out by going to acetj.com/Temple team.
They say there are only two things certain in life: sweet deals at Sweet Dreams and taxes.
And only one of those is certain this month.
Which one?
The sweet deals at Sweet Dreams.
What about the taxes?
No sales tax the entire month of April at Sweet Dreams.
Are you serious?
Yeah. And don't call me Shirley.
Love where you live, Lake Norman, and pay no sales tax during the month of April. Only at Sweet Dreams Furniture and Mattress.
This is the Ace and TJ podcast and radio show.
So I'm pretty. My name is Riggins. I'm pretty consistent in my presentation. If you meet me, I'm going to be the same as I was a year ago, and probably the same as I will be a year from now. Pretty consistent. But I have noticed some little things that as I'm getting older. I've got a birthday coming up in 3 weeks or so. I saw a TikTok that just resonated with me a few weeks ago. A guy said, you know you're becoming an adult when there's a tree on your property that you are way too focused on. You're way too interested. It's one tree. And it could be for a variety of things. Like you're constantly thinking about if that tree fell over, where's it going to hit the house? If that tree needs to be maintained or groomed better, that's how you know you're becoming an adult. Mine is a little bit different. I got 2 ferns, and everybody knows in this room I've been talking about these ferns forever. I know I want to get ferns. I feel like if you live in the South and you have a house, you put ferns on the front porch. That's what you do. Mm-hmm. So I finally got these ferns. I don't know anything about growing plants or anything like that. My parents do. So I've got these ferns out. They are my pride and joy. Sometimes I stand at the front windows and I just peer through the windows and I stare at these 2 ferns hanging from the front porch. And then the birds came. These birds have become, since Osama bin Laden and Saddam Hussein died, these are my 2 most wanted. I hate these 2 birds with every fiber of my being. And they're trying to make a nest in these ferns. And I'm an animal lover. That has since gone out the window. I want to destroy these birds. I want to throw whatever chemical is available to me at these birds, ruin their whole family bloodline. I hate them. So I called my dad and I said, Dad, I got these birds. He goes, oh yeah, bird spikes. I said, what did you just say? He goes, bird spikes. I got them all over the place. So what are those? He goes, they look like little swords. You just put it in your plants so the birds won't nest in there. So do they skewer themselves on the bird spikes? And he goes, no. They get the message pretty quickly when they try to land in there. I said, I'm going to go get some bird spikes. So today on the list of things I have to do, return my library books and get bird spikes.
Yeah.
What a day.
Before you go to the skate park.
Yeah, exactly.
I got to go to the library and get some bird spikes.
More next.
This is the Ace and TJ show.
So our friend Richard Toccato, the Richard Toccato Companies, is here, and he has helped us so many times through the years. And when it comes to mortgages, he's going to get you the best deal.
That's right. We are the best deal. And if you're under contract to buy a house, you should check us out. I mean, you're not going to. They never do. But we're the best deal.
But feel free, you should, and because we've used him for years for a variety of different things. Whatever you're needing, go to homewithrichard.com to get the process started, and they can take care of you from there. Homewithrichard.com, the Richard Toccato Companies.
When it comes to losing weight, sometimes you don't even know where to start. You know that it needs to happen, but you need some help. Well, you start by going to acetj.com/weight loss and ordering Calitrin. Calitrin is scientifically proven to help you lose weight, and it is not a drug. It is not a drug. Repeat that. So here's what you do. You go to acetj.com/Calitrin, order 3 months, and then you'll get 3 months free. 4 months, 4 months free. That's how it works with Calitrin.
Live each weekday on your radio, anytime you want, wherever you get podcasts. This is the Ace and TJ podcast and radio show.
Go check out TJ's podcast every day at 10 a.m. Eastern on the Ace and TJ Family app, or you can get it later as a podcast on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or YouTube Music. Check it out every day. It's fun and frivolity. It's hosted by TJ and
you.
And yeah, absolutely. I'm on there too.
Riggins is on there.
I'm on there too. TJ, have you recovered? I know Mondays are not your best days. The weekend takes it out of you.
Yeah.
But I know you were traveling this weekend. You were out in New Bern, North Carolina. I'm sure everybody followed Small Town Adventures on Saturday. It was a big hit.
We got there early Friday afternoon. So it's about a 4.5 hour drive from where we live. And so we got there Friday afternoon, started, kind of looking around the town. It's a beautiful, beautiful, historic town. I mean, there's so many things there that are you just like, I can't, this building is still standing and it's been here since this 1700s, and I mean it was really cool. So, but out late Friday night and then all day Saturday and Saturday night.
And then on Sunday, because I got a DM from your friend, little friend Jenny. She was saying like there's a new cheesesteak spot near you or something. I was like, I figured you'd be in the car or something. When did you drive home? Yesterday?
Yeah, we drove home yesterday. Little friend Jenny and handsome husband Michael, because Michael couldn't get off early on Friday, they flew there and flew back. So
okay.
Yeah.
Maybe she was DMing me from the plane. I don't know how that works. So are you exhausted now after 8-9 hours in the car?
Yes. Yeah, I'm tired.
Yeah. Well, you seem fine.
Well, I know. It's just that, this job will just take it out of you anyway. So having to sit in here and slave over a hot microphone today is just all I can do. I can bear.
Is it hard to to get amped up for Saturday when you had a late Friday night before? Because he just said he just said they had a late Friday night.
Yeah, I mean, I did notice your voice was a little scratchy on that first video from Saturday. I was like, I wonder if they went out. And then I looked at your wife's story, and it's like there's cocktails everywhere. I'm like, oh, dang, they went hard the night before too, I guess.
Yeah, we just went to different places than we did Saturday. So.
Oh yeah, that was good thinking.
Yeah. I don't know.
Let me go super hard on Friday.
We had to do work to get familiar with the town before the whole event started Saturday.
Okay, work, a bunch of vodka, whatever.
This is the Ace and TJ Show.
Hey, radio family, we've got a new way to win. Ace TJ Prime Rewards. Win great stuff like gift cards, Ace and TJ merch, concert tickets, and exclusive money can't buy experiences. Win it all with Ace TJ Prime Rewards. It's so easy. Download the Ace and TJ Family app in your app store or at acetj.com/app and start winning with Ace TJ Prime Rewards. New winners every week. Fun and free. Get the app and play Ace TJ Prime Rewards. We always knew you were a winner. Now it's your chance to prove it. Get the app today.